This is the plaintiff, Tyvon Harrison. He says he sold a 95 Mitsubishi Galant to the defendants, only to discover they stopped payment on the check they gave to him. When he asked them why, they told him they found a better deal on another car. Huh? The crazy ladies won't even return the car to him. How do they possibly think they can have it both ways, the car and the money? He's suing for $2,200, the amount owed. These are the defendants, Tampa Watson and Mamie Jackson Muhammad. Tampa says they took the car to a mechanic and he told them it would cost another $2,600 to get the thing to pass inspection and to get it roadworthy. The car was a piece of junk. They got hoodwinked by the fast-talking con man, and if anyone's owed money, it's them. They're accused of changing their minds. The defendants have filed a countersuit for $547 for storage fees and useless title applications.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff sold a 95 Mitsubishi Galant to the defendants and says that the defendants stiffed him. But the defendants claim a mechanic told them the car was a mess that would cost thousands to fix. It's the case of your anything but Galant.
Tyvon Harrison,
yes.
You are suing Tampa Watson and Mamie Jackson Muhammad, okay, for $2,200 that you say they owe you on the sale of a vehicle, and you are counterclaiming against them $547 that you want given back to you, that you spent to title and register the car and store it because you say the car is a piece of junk. Okay, Mr. Harrison, let's start with you.
Yes, I met the defendant through her brother, Amir Muhammad.
That's her brother?
Yes.
Well, that's awkward.
Yeah, it is.
Go ahead.
So he explained to me that his sister was interested in a vehicle, which he knew I had one. So that's how we made a connection on that. So she came from PA to test drive the vehicle and to see what was wrong with it.
And the car is what car?
It's a 1995 Mitsubishi Galant.
Okay.
So she came up here, test drove it, and it was making noise. The only problem that was wrong with it, that we knew, to my knowledge, because I never got it inspected, was the gauge was moving back and forth, and the muffler had to be fixed.
Did you ever get it inspected before you bought it?
No, we didn't get it inspected before we bought it because since it was going through my brother, I figured he only told me that it needed a tune-up and it had a hole in the muffler.
Is your brother a mechanic?
No,
yes
but
or no?
no.
Okay, so why wouldn't you have a 17-year-old car that you're buying inspected? You didn't want anybody to look at it to see like what's going to hold up, if it's a good motor, like you just didn't want to spend the $100 or whatever?
Well, no, it wasn't that. It was that we wanted to get it inspected by our mechanic.
Well, not after you buy it, you know, I mean before you buy it so that you know whether to buy it. And if you're driving how far to buy it?
2 hours.
Yeah, so you can only get it to your neck of the woods if you bought it. The idea is to get something when you're buying a 17-year-old. I mean, your car's older than my oldest child. You know, when you're buying a 17-year-old car, does your car sass you? Buying a 17-year-old car is that you have it looked at before you buy it. Anyway, so go ahead.
So yes, she came up here to test drive it, which she did. We explained to her the problems that we seen that was visible was the muffler and the gauge, because I never got it inspected. As soon as I bought it.
How long before selling it did you buy it?
Probably a week prior.
Why did you sell it so fast?
Because I was interested in another vehicle.
Well, why'd you buy this one? Is this what you do? You buy and sell cars, or is this just?
I just started. Tell you the truth, I just started.
Okay, so how many cars have you bought and sold?
No, this is the second one.
You weren't just trying to get rid of this car because you knew there was something wrong with it?
No.
So you had bought this car how?
I was riding and I seen the car was for sale.
And how much? But you bought it
if I could sell it.
You bought it retail at a dealership?
Yes.
And how much did you pay for it?
$1,000.
And then how much did you sell it to her for?
$22.
So how come you got it so cheap?
It wasn't cheap. Tell you the truth, I don't see it being cheap. $1,000.
The $1,000?
Yeah.
Well, if you think that the $1,000 was expensive, how do you think she feels about the 22? Did you put any work in it in the meantime?
Mm-mm.
Well, so you buy it for $1,000, which you thought was overpaying, and then you charge her $2,200?
Yes.
You don't think that's overpaying? What's the blue book value of the vehicle?
I have no idea.
Nobody has any idea?
I do.
When did you get the idea?
We checked it out
Afterwards?
when we was preparing for this case.
Oh, why don't you get the idea before you buy the 17-year-old car?
See, when it's your
Let me
son
see the
or
Kelly Blue
stepson,
Book.
you don't think that he would cheat you.
Why?
You know?
I don't know him from a hole in a wall.
Well, but we think we do.
Why do you think you do? How'd that work out for you?
Not too good.
Right.
So would you ever buy a 17-year-old car without having it inspected?
Not at all. I think after 17 years, you're assuming all the risk.
Okay, I'm going to up it now. Would you ever buy a 17-year-old car?
Yes.
You think they could be okay?
If the price was right and the make and model was something that I knew about.
Would you buy one without having it inspected?
Absolutely not.
Because?
You don't know what the car's been through.
Even if it looks nice?
Even if it looks nice.
Going inside the courtroom.
So the car in very good condition is $550. Did you know the Blue Book value when you bought it?
No.
And did you know the Blue Book value when you sold it?
No.
What did you do? Just happy you found a sucker who'd pay twice what you paid?
Tell you the truth,
Stand up, brother. Sit up. Sit up. Up. Let's see you. So why are you telling her that this is your sister, half sister, what?
My sister.
Full sister.
My half sister.
Is that your mom and dad?
That's my father.
Okay, but that's not your mom. Okay, so she's your half sister. And like, how come you're on that side? Because you think you should be paid or return the car?
The car and belonged to him. The money, they made the deal. It wasn't my car.
Right. You make a deal, you pay $2,200. You get the car, and you take a check and let go of the car and sign over the title.
That was a big mistake. I learned.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you how it's done. You go with her to the bank where she's drawing the check from. And if there's not one of those branches, then she doesn't bring a check. She brings cash. She can go to the bank and get the cash. Give you the cash, then you release a car and a title. You do not release a car and a title on something that can go wrong. So now you have the car for how long before you decide this is a piece of garbage, I don't want it?
Oh, actually 2 days.
And how did you find out that it was a piece of garbage you didn't want it?
Because my mom and dad took it to the
Now you take it to the mechanic?
They took it and got it notarized, and then
what's notarized?
Well, took it
means we got it checked out.
Got
by the
title
mechanic.
stuff. Yes.
Right.
So I figured, okay, well, that's my brother. So I figure, with him, he's done this.
He doesn't know anything. Well, honest to God, why are you trusting him on this?
He does this all the time.
Does what?
This is what he does. He goes to a dealership, a car lot. He purchases a car.
The brother.
Right. Amir paid $500 to Frank and took the car.
Who's Frank?
Okay.
Wait, who's Frank?
Frank is a
The
man
guy who
that
sells
owns
them?
a car lot.
Okay, so you
Right?
think that your stepson
Right.
gave $500 to Frank?
Right. He couldn't get it in his name because he doesn't
who's
have a
he? You
license.
keep using pronouns. I don't know who you're
I'm
talking
saying
about.
Eric.
Who's Eric?
Eric, Amir, whichever name he wants to go by today.
Eric is Amir?
Yes, that's the
Okay.
same person. My stepson, his son.
Okay.
He doesn't have a license, so he can't get the car. So he had to get the car and get everything in Tavon's name.
You mean he's done this before with Tavon?
Yes, he does this, but not with Tavon. He's done
Okay,
this
what does that have to do with what happened here, which is that
Okay,
you bought
well,
a car and right now, you gave a check, then did you stop payment on the check?
I did.
Stop payment on the check. So now you have a car and you haven't paid for it, you haven't returned the car. Well, what am I
Right.
supposed to do with this?
They're supposed to come and get the car. We told
Come
them
and
to
get
come
the
and
car.
get it.
Why?
Yeah, because we can't drive it. It's
Then
in
get it
terrible
towed.
condition.
Stop.
Why should we have to pay for the tow?
Did you buy a car with warranties or did you buy a car as is?
We bought a car where he said the only thing was wrong with it was a hole in the muffler and a tune-up.
It's a 17-year-old car, lady. Have you ever bought a car in your life?
Yeah, I bought cars, but not that old.
Okay. Every private party sale is an as-is sale unless you can prove otherwise. Somebody telling you it's a good car, it's not proving otherwise. Do you have paperwork from this transaction? Any paperwork whatsoever?
Yeah. This is pictures.
Okay.
And this is the paperwork that was in this envelope.
But where's the piece of paper that was a bill of sale? I take it no one took a pen and a piece of paper and wrote, I hereby sell my 17-year-old car, send it to college, to you, VIN number, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Nobody took the time to write that on a several $1,000s purchase. Okay. So what is this? This is a private party sale, which by virtue of operation of law is an as-is sale, unless you can prove otherwise. Every party who buys a used car says, we were told there was nothing wrong with it. That's not really it. You have to be able to prove that he knew something and somehow hid it. I've seen people prove that by showing the reports from the mechanic he took it to that told him how wrong the thing was and what was in it, and then he buried it and lied or something. You don't have any of that. You have him selling you a used car that you didn't do the slightest modicum of research on. And then what happens? You tell him I want my money back, and the guy who can say, too bad, as a sale, doesn't say that. You say to them, okay, right? You were going to give them their money back.
Yeah, until they say that the only reason why they're not going to get a car back is because they want to be reimbursed for the registration and all the other fees. So
then all of a sudden it's okay. Give me my money back. I'll give you your car back. Happy day. But oh, by the way, you can also pay us $600 or whatever the heck else they were suing for. $547. Which is their counterclaim, $177 to register the car and $307. Like, do you not understand that it was like a total gift horse that you were looking in the mouth there, where the guy was telling you, okay, I'll return the car, and you don't have, did you talk to anybody? Did you do any research online, anything to figure out whether you have the right to not only, in order to get your money back, demand all this other money, and by the way, you travel 2 hours and come pick it up? What if you're wrong? As it turns out you are. Now what? You don't have a right to return the car under these circumstances, so now what? Now you're stuck with the car, and now you're going to have to pay for it. Verdict is for the plaintiff, and the amount of the purchase price, which is $2,200, on the counterclaim, $0. Good luck, folks.
The plaintiff, the seller, will get his money for selling that car to you. What's your feeling on this?
Well, next time I know. Not
what do you know now that you didn't know before?
That you can't trust everybody, family or not.
I don't know. What about getting a used car checked out before you buy it? No matter who you buy it from.
We'll definitely do that the next time. Well, I actually, went ahead and purchased another car, but, we went ahead and got everything checked out.
Research, right?
Yes.
If you knew Eric has done this before, you said you kind of know this. But why did you buy a car from him?
All the time, but
so why did you buy from him?
Because he usually sells good cars. We never had no problem with him before. We actually had another car that we got from him.
Well, you have this car. You're stuck with this car now.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll scrap it and get what we could get for it.
Okay, right down there. Okay, head right down there with Officer McIntosh. All right, so come on in here. And you're going to finally get paid. Eric, anything? Oh, thanks a lot. Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, unless there's proof of fraud, there is no way of undoing this sale. And let me just say, it is stupid not to get a car like this inspected. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.